And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Songs of Six, where we are trying to build up this laboratory, or not laboratory, this library to get a little bit more innovation, and hopefully via that encourage just that little bit more city growth, or at least try to pick one of the title. One of the two. Is that the fruit harvest coming in? That is the fruit harvest coming in. So with that coming in from all the groves, I should actually have enough fruit coming in to operate both breweries. Disease at our doorstep. Okay, so that's a warning that we might have a disease about to arrive. Which isn't necessarily a concern. We're reasonably healthy. It just means a bunch of people are going to die and end up in the graves. Okay, one more day, and this should turn off. Which again will help let the religion recover from that. We could technically run polytheistic. The two good gods don't necessarily have religion problems if you worship both of them, but we're running the good old cheap Cantorism. The other good religion, which is Arthurianism, actually doing their sacrifices can be a bit expensive. Waiting for that library to build. 99.9%. Again, we're basically building it with idle people from the local area. Because we have no odd jobbers. We're 300 people overemployed due to the needs of the logistical system. Although we have sequestered that to the logistical system right now, so we're almost 300 warehouse workers short. Pay up, decline, or have Valra the Pirate arrive. Let's see how big Valra the Pirate is. 600 soldiers, and my town garrison, if we pop into the town, is 78. Yeah, we're gonna pay that. Because I don't think we're gonna be able to keep them at bay. Yeah, we do have the auto migrate up to 6,000, so we're definitely at the point where we need more migration if we're going to keep growing, which means we need the fulfillment actually fulfilled. So we're getting conversion back again to craterism. Almost have the library put together. Waiting for 44 gems to be delivered. We have adequate gems, so that shouldn't be a concern. If anything, it's probably actually the delivery from the warehouse. Ah, here comes that epidemic we warned about earlier. So this is definitely a situation where we just put the speed on 4 and just watch our overemployment get significantly worse. Well, we're still handling the corpses for the moment, which is good to see. And as long as we can do that and keep the health score over 1, it should be a fairly painless process to recover. I say, and then we don't just keep the corpses in control. Just a few corpses. Here comes the next death wave. An accident. One of the things we're sort of running the game to see is if we can get enough accidents so we can complete that. I suppose actually we were running. Was I running a tech to reduce accidents? I should probably turn that off. Hence, that's not it. Oh, I am running one for safety. Okay, so there's maybe an argument to take the safety one off. So you get the accidents more often. So we're slowly recovering from sickness. Religion's recovering. Native population obviously is the main source of our growth, so that's recovering. Okay, the library is complete. Now we can go up to 500 librarians. How many of those will actually get assigned is maybe a different question. Okay, so we'll see if that knowledge helps. Will it run long enough? In fact, actually, let's... I'm going to give up on the work safety here. There we go. Unallocated that. We'll wait for that to pile up, and then we'll probably try to take either architecture or... Well, eventually architecture, high entertainment, and fancy fighting pits if we can generate enough knowledge for all three. See if that plus knowledge gets us some reliable migration again. Well, that plus the religion conversion going on. Almost most of the way back. Okay. Okay, you're 80, okay, so we'll give it a couple more days. We've got a bunch of disease-ridden corpses out there. Probably because specific mass graves are full. Oh, no, because all the mass graves are full. We had quite a few people die, I suppose. Okay, what I want to do, speaker first or the stage? The answer is both of them, but which one do I do first? Yeah, let's do the stage first. Okay, let's see how well that works. Check up on you. You're not yet at the target, so in theory knowledge is increasing. I suppose we have degradation starting to stack up on those. What's the source of the degradation problem? Maybe not just enough janitors in the area? Yeah, maybe not just enough janitors in the area. Yeah, stage is surge. Services should be going up. Or not stage. Oh, no, it is stage. We did upgrade the stage. And that should be going up to the highest it's ever been. Upgrade quality should be up to 100%, so we just haven't had everyone visit a stage yet. Okay, so we got the knowledge. Let's pick up the speaker upgrade as well. Gotta wait for those gems to arrive. Oh, that's gonna be multiple days. Gotta wait until the tax collector arrives. Okay, if we can save up enough, we would like to pick up the fighting pits as well. Again, that will let us pick up another title. Take on to the next city. And then what's our... Theory, we're actually about 200 out from the target, so should be just good as is. Just gotta be patient. Oh, I thought experience was 0 to 1 is actually 0 to 3 on the libraries. Good to know. Yep, and we did have enough to pick up fancy fighting pits, so we'll pick them up. And then, obviously, that means I'm going to get the fighting pit. Based achievement, we need to upgrade the fighting pits. Means I need swords. Okay. That presents me with one of two options. I can make them, or I can import them. You and your subjects have had yourselves crowded around the well as you collectively regain awareness. You beheld it for the first time. A strange color, not a six, slowly ascending to take its place among the other firmament. Radiance undimmed by light. Daylight was so profoundly other that its presence could be felt more than seen. As it touched you, you found your mind reflected by it. Your fears, your sins, your triumphs were laid bare for all to see. Just as your soul was presented, so were your subjects. Shift of perspective, and you saw something shocking, yet utterly unfitting. Or utterly fitting. You guys found theirs, and you exchanged a tiny nod. There were no words spoken, but there was no need. Mundane necessities soon forced the congregation to disband. Hours later, you lost your connection to those who remained at the well. So this isn't now more lawful, and either we got more deranged, or we got more... We're either going to get more deranged or more stuff. I think 87 just died. And some of the nobility passed. Okay, do I have any open crates that I can take advantage of? There we go, we got one open one, that'll work. Can I get you to import... Except swords. Except the Falcata. Yeah, that's 500, and then we'll import, or try to import some swords. See how well this goes. There we go. And we're waiting for the gems to arrive for those last two stand upgrades. We've got all the stages upgraded. Religion is almost recovered. Although I might actually need more shrines. And then, obviously, we will need more temples as we grow, but at the moment, the one temple I think is fine. Here I am at the point where I'm getting some immigration, which is good to see. Not much, but some. We had 4 swords made. Okay, there are 4 swords imported. Would it be practical to make them? I think the answer is no. Well, let's decide to swap the guys over to using swords. Oh, I would also need a tech that we don't have. Coal and metal. Okay. Workshop that forges tools, weapons, or armor. Yeah. city is stable. Then the corpses going down. Apparently we have administration problems again. Of course we do. Oh, that might be due to a shortage of paper. Not be surprised that that's due to the paper. Increase the access to food? Answer is kind of yes. Yeah, I'm gonna click another tick here, see if we can get a little bit more food distributed to the people. Again, if we can get the fulfillment high enough, more people move in, it'll help with the on-jobber problem. If we solve the on-jobber problem, we're gonna try to make more food. Think of the spot where we're at. And then achievement-wise, or title-wise, the entertainer here, we've hit speakers, we've hit stages, we're just short on the fighting pits. And obviously we got 50% from fighting pits. Fighting pits only have 2 levels, so that means we need a level 1. We'll level some of them up. We might only need level 1 up. One of our 3. It's not like our people visit them very often, because our people don't actually care about them. Shift. You and your subjects found yourselves crowded against the well. It was not clear whether the color had changed or you. Perhaps it was a shift of perspective caused by its ascent. No longer saw your mind reflected in the globe, but instead saw a glimmer of something else. How something else experienced the world in its time. It was a way that was alien to the very structure of your mind, yet seeing it made it seem so obvious. A simple shift, and you could glimpse what would happen before it happened just as easily as adjusting your eyes to see something far away. Something remained at the well. Boosts to defense, attack, archery. Sanity goes to an even lower number, so I suspect this is the insanity is rising. And 89 more people die. If I'm reading that correct. Okay, food servings in theory is going up. Which again, also provides us a health bonus, which is nice. Fewer sick people is always nice. Corpses eventually, if we can keep them from making more corpses, corpses should improve. That might be pushing it too much. I'll try to go up to 3. Apparently sanity is going down even more. It's down to negative... Oh no, it's negative 40%. This one shows up. The other one is showing at 0.6, whereas this is showing negative 40%. I think this is the correct one, so it's negative 40%. So yeah, that should mean we went more insane. There's a title for getting up to 200 deranged in the city at the time. Upgrade that one. We'll see if that gives us the title. If it does, I might just downgrade it because the fighting pit's not actually worth operating, but I've already coupled them so we can do executions of them. Yeah, we are getting migration, which is helping the city grow. I'm gonna build up another one of these slowly. So let's go ahead and copy another area, get some more housing. Because again, once we get, we now have people moving in, which is good to see. Once those people moved in, we're gonna want more people. So let's start building the housing for the next batch of people. And then I'm going to want to build up food production so we can serve more food, so we can get more people in to make more food. Round and round and round we go. Shift. You and your subjects found yourselves crowded around the well. The color shifted again. You no longer saw anything in it, not an absence nor an impenetrable blackness, a hue. At this strange nothing spread, you began to see other things more clearly. This fundamental contrast did not make things easier. Notice it made them unknown, or made them known. Not unknown. Memorized by the wealth of knowledge now available to you, you spent a long time shifting through it, examining the strangest finds more closely. You stayed almost too long, but an errant glance at the sky saved you. So, sanity gets even worse. More knowledge, more people just randomly die. And some more nobility dies, okay. the higher that goes, the more we get for food servings. Food servings plus physicians are helping to get the health up. Health up means we have less sick people, which should help. It also helps with the hospital, because we... greater likelihood that we actually have enough people in the hospital. Yeah, I'm gonna need more food. Let's grab another one of the upgrades. So we didn't get the achievement for the fighting pits yet. Or the title for the fighting pits. In theory, I have pretty good access to those. I just generally, again, our people don't visit them. Don't quite have enough deranged yet. Well, that's trending up, which is interesting. Get that to 200, then we'll get a title out of it. Although the current rate, I don't think it's going to hit 200 before the shift ends. Unless the shift gets worse. I don't have quite enough to do much with. Don't store the Fakata. No, I can't tell it to store, not store. Okay, that's fine. I was about to say, like, if I can tell it not to store the swords, I'd prefer it not to store the swords, but it's not how that works. Not sure this is actually trending up. I might have to bring someone of some other species into the town to enjoy the fighting pits, I suppose. Get that achievement. Wouldn't necessarily be that hard. Bringing a few people in just to enjoy some fighting pits would not be impossible. For example, I could bring in some Dundorians. Oh, the shift does get worse. Okay, we were going to hit 200 deranged. You and your subjects found themselves crowded around the well. The color has almost completed its ascent, though it was almost motionless. You sensed a terrible force driving it forward. You could see how it accelerated ever faster, but it remained motionless. The sight strained your mind. The color became faster, but stayed still. You felt yourself become rooted to the spot, every blink taking age, yet despite that you moved with great speed. Staying to catch a glimpse of the end was tempting. Production speed of everything doubled. Madness increased. More casualties. Well, at least in the short run, that's going to help us with food. And achieving our 200 deranged. In fact, in theory, I think it just... Should have 200 deranged. 205. For reason it hasn't popped yet. Mad. We hit the requirements. Okay, so it just hasn't popped. It's happened for whatever reason. Maybe a particular part of the day when it checks. There we go. Particular part of the day when it checks. Congrats, you've now earned the right to style yourself the Mad. You have a bunch of insane people running around in your city. In your next playthrough or resettle, you will be allowed to select this title to boost your game. Each race you unlock this with increases boosts, or increase the boost. We're up to 14.5% sanity reduction on that. I want to reduce the insane in future playthroughs. I think our people don't like foreigners specifically. Don't like outsiders, others, yes. Oh, interesting. They like the Garmithi the most. They dislike everyone. Don't get me wrong. Garmithi, they're a little on board of the others. Otherwise, dislike of everyone. Yeah. Humans are fairly tolerant of everyone. Not perfectly tolerant. I don't think there's anyone that's perfectly tolerant of others. Or the, oh, the Cantor... So the Giants and the Argonosh do have people they are perfectly opinionated of. Humans are pretty all around, although people they don't necessarily like humans. And then the Nondorians are probably pretty all around. I get a perfect preference of Cantor, Catonia, human. The Catonians don't particularly like the humans. You gotta get the Catonians and the humans apart. Yeah, otherwise that's fine. Okay. Because yeah, if I don't have... it might be one of the situations where if I don't have anyone to enjoy the fighting pits, I'm not getting the bonus from the fighting pit. To complete... Detainer. Because yeah, we're stuck at 51%. Feels like we're not getting it for some reason. Okay. I'm gonna let 10 Dendorians in. Well, we're gonna let one Dendorian in and see if that works. We set it to set 10, but they're apparently not super happy being in the city. And I probably, again, well, actually, it maybe doesn't tank the other very much. Because it's one. One poor soul. In a city of thousands. Although as he does take advantage of the services, it should go up pretty quickly. So we're basically waiting for him to try out a fighting pit. And or for more of them to migrate in. There he goes, he's running around grabbing various services, so he went to the food stall, went to the well. Apparently the well he went to wasn't super good, but could be worse. And we have 4 of them in the town. Again, I think we're basically waiting for them to actually go use the fighting pit. Watch someone at the fighting pit. Now this is where I can decree that they have work overtime, or take days off. I suppose if we were making money, we could be bribing them. The end. You and your subjects found themselves lost, congregating around a well. The color is gone, it has ascended, leaving you behind. You feel the details of the experience start to slip your mind like a dream that was vivid just a moment ago. You know you will not be able to recall everything, and that holding on to this moment will unravel your mind. Subjects look to you for guidance. What hue will you focus on? Which one will your subjects try to recall? The first, lawful. Second is the weapon stuff. The third, the knowledge, or the fourth. Instead of being twice as good at everything, they'll be 5% better at everything. This might actually stay around as a... Well, actually, no, I think this is a temp bonus. I think it's going to be... Because we've got a sanity modifier on here. I don't think the sanity's going to stick around forever. If it's a temp bonus, we'll just do the fourth. Let's see. After the events, life continues as normal. You do not recall the words you uttered that day. Some say the whole thing was due to bad weather, or bad water, or bad well water, or an eruption of poisonous gas. The traders that visited your city during that time did not stay long, and when asked about it, they did not recall seeing anything strange except for some odd behavior from your subjects. You know better, though. Sometimes you can catch a glimpse of it out of the corner of your eye. Effects of my chosen hue. And maybe it will hang around. That would be boosts this if it is. Oh, that, yeah, the normality here might hang around forever. Okay. Yeah, so I think we're waiting for the Nandorians to go experience the fighting pits. When I am up to 6,000 people. Okay, so that means the next thing we want to do... We actually have housing for another 50. We'll set this to let those 50 in. And then we are in the process of expanding housing. Oh, I know what's going on. Their education is going down because I have the university set to educate them, I think, by default. University educates people by default, yeah. So in theory, they can occasionally take up spots in the university and they will get educated, which is actually fine. I'm on board with that. Okay, so one of them has experienced the fight pit. It should mean the fight pit is trending up in value. Although the axis is pretty low, apparently, is what that's saying. I don't exactly know where they're living in the settlement, so they might not be living anywhere near the fight pits. We do have a small community down here out of the range of the fight pits. That's the only place where they could be really living and be outranged. Oh, they could be down here as well, I suppose. Okay, your priority, I would like to set your priority to the lab, or the library is higher. Because we're educating you, right? These guys don't necessarily like doing the courts. We'll actually turn you down in courts before you didn't work in the courts. Don't necessarily have very many of you anyway. Again, don't work the scaffold or the dungeon. And then you should be less likely to want to work it over on that industry and that industry. Yeah, our main people are just slightly better farmers than effectively this game's equivalent to the dwarves. Our guys actually like working the clay pits. I'm going to tell you don't work in clay pits. We're not going to take any slaves. We don't have really the money to do that. Accidents, that's like what we like to see. Again, we're going to try to convince them to go work in the libraries, or at least work in the mines, where they're got some fulfillment benefits over our people. They like the carpentry, so we'll let them carpentry. Like the mason, so we'll let them mason. Do you like paper maker, pottery, or at least are more skilled than our guys at that. Actually turn them down, the ration makers and the tailors. All that good for the moment. Stop fiddling with the priorities too much. An accident, but that's fine. I believe this is priority to work at, not use. But if it is to use, then we let them keep the fighting pit priority. Okay. And then we're kind of hoping that they go see the fight pit so we can get the access on the fight pit so we can complete the fight pit related title. Still appears to be stuck at 51%. Let's try toggling fight pits off on you. Okay, so that's making it go down, which is fine. And then let's toggle it back on, see if we can get them to actually go to it. We should be able to get over 50% on them, because we've upgraded them. Upgrade the fight pits. Okay, these houses are built. Complete the upgrades here so we can let more people in. Have housing for another 100 people. Let's allow another 100 in. We've got the weapons. Let's go ahead and build... Actually, I'll copy and paste it over. We'll build one over there in case that's... Here we go. In case that's the problem. Get another one down here. Anyway, we should be working the deranged down, although we have 297 of them right now and only have treatment facilities for 80. So the rate that it works down might not be particularly fast. Yeah, we picked up the MAD in this one. We're still working on those executions. We're still working on the accidents, which are the tier 2s that I think we can reasonably achieve. And then, as far as the entertained, are you entertained? Or entertained tile? The fight pits are what's holding up on that. And I don't think it's necessarily upgrade status. Right, because we got people now visiting them. So it should be able to work. It's just, I think that there are the people that we really need to get to visit, which are our lizardmen here, don't actually want to visit it, so they're not seeing that it's better very often. is kind of where the problem's coming in. And we need to get the fulfillment on a need they don't actually care about up to 70% for the title. Which is where I think the slowness is coming in. Okay, so they've cleared that fighting pit location. Working on clearing the other one. So that's what's going on. Yeah. Also don't have very many, we don't have any odd jobbers, right? Although we're getting pretty close to having some. So probably when we get these fighting pits done, I'll probably try to build another housing unit. And then I'll let another 100 or so people in. Okay, so all the goods have arrived there, so they're now assembling the foundation. I'm actually going to go ahead and pause here. Once again, time for one of those patented stream breaks. We just finished recording another hour. We are going to go at least 2 more hours on this city to see if we can pick up the clumsy. So that's another 130 accidents. That's probably not going to actually happen in 2 hours, but we'll see. And not the incompetent, but the heaviest of hands. I can find it. There's the heaviest of hands. Which is have 1,000 executions. We have had 808. So that's an option. There are ways to speed this up. If we're not done with this, come the last hour of the stream, what I can do is I can set it under law. Come into law and go like, okay, we need executions to max. Not doing that right now, but that's something we can do. But yeah, and then we're doing the fighting pits to see if we can get the Are You Entertained achievement. I think it's Are You Entertained? The Entertainer, which has as flavor text, Are You Not Entertained, in the flavor text. So if you're watching on YouTube, we'll have another part up tomorrow. If you're watching on Twitch, feel free to hang around. This will be the longer of the 3 stream breaks, because I'm going to be replacing the cup of tea. Cup of tea's technically been empty for the entire last hour, so I'm getting a bit thirsty at this point. So until the next bit, I'm going to wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part and/or stream, and bye for now.